Hey everybody, there's a couple questions asked on the board. I'm going to just do a quick video for it. The first one was white labeling. All these systems are white labeled. If you have access or you have a website in the back, depending on what membership you are, whether it's included or you bought one, right when you launch that website, it's going to ask you, do you want this to be a SaaS sales portal? And then you can white label our entire, you'll see our front page here. You'll be able to, basically, it'll copy our entire page, everything, and let you just swap out logos and colors and background images. You can use the same text, swap text, and it'll come standard with all of our buttons. It'll look just like this, except for when they register, they're actually registering through you. It'll all be yours, and you can switch it around any way you want. So it's just completely white labeled for the entire experience. But with that, somebody was asking, well, do we have the ability to, control the channels? Meaning, like, let's say I sell somebody a channel. When they log into the back end of your SaaS, this would be the back end of yours. It'd have your logo, your background, whatever you want. And they log in, would they be able to add channels? So it's kind of a complicated thing. I wrote it up and posted it, but I'm going to show you a video. So let's say we sign in. So this would be an example of your back end. You would have all these features. They necessarily wouldn't. Because there's user types. These user types like Founder and Enterprise you won't see, because this is our back end. And we do have Founder clients, a lot of you guys, and you get special perks and privileges. And so that's where we include your perks and privileges depending on the level of founder you are. So that's definitely a user type that we have. But you will have standard, admin, and agents. So the use of admin, let's say you log in and you have your admin back end and it's going to have all these buttons and all your stuff. You may have an assistant or somebody that works with you or a partner. So you can go in there and hit admin user, because somebody asked that too when we were giving out the coupons. Well, we have 2 people, can we get 2 coupons? Well, you don't need 2 coupons, you just need 1, because once you're registered, you can come in here and add as many admin users as you like, meaning that if I had a partner or we have partners or whatever, I can just hit admin user, give them their own username and password, and then we all log into the same back end. So there's not like 2 autonomous systems that's going to double charge all that. It's actually 1 system and you just add admin users. Very easy. So let's take scenario 1 where I go out and I sell a client a channel. Let's say it's a church. So I go to the church and I sell them a channel. So I come in here and I create the channel, and I'm just going to call it church. So there it is. I put it in a category, whatever it's going to be. I don't know, maybe business, but there's no subcategories. You can create that, whatever. And let's say I sold them a channel that has 4 gigs, okay? And then I hit next, right? And I basically build the channel out to whatever I want it to be. So once the channel's built out, you'll have a channel in your channel manager called church. So what you can do under user management is create an agent. An agent is a third-party person that can log into the system, but can only control or see what you assign them. So let's say I create an agent called Church 1, all right? So then I can go back in the channel manager and I can say, hey, church, my station church needs to be assigned to that agent. So when that agent logs in, they're not going to see all these dashboards and buttons and all these sort of things. What they're going to see is basically the name of their channel, and it's going to say, on their dashboard, it's just going to say channels, and it's going to say church in this case. And then they click on church, and then they can upload videos, edit, do the thumbnails, do everything. And it's all automated. They can use some of the advanced tools, like if they have a YouTube, they can just grab the RSS feed and put it in there for their channel, and just say every day at 3 o'clock, go out to YouTube, grab the new content, put on my channel, and then they never have to log in again. It'll just automatically happen. It'll convert that YouTube into Roku, Apple Fire, depends on what is chosen here, channels they want, and it'll be done. So that's all they can see. Now let's say they come in here and say, well, church is going great, so we're going to open a second church. So you make a second church channel, right? And you create it. You can go into the same agent and assign them church 2 as well. So then they log in, it'll say your channels, it'll say church 2, because that's what I named them. And then they can edit those particular channels. Now, a couple things here. So you sold them 4 gigs, right? So like up in the top here, it says you personally, not them, you have 42 gigs left of 50. So let's say you sold them 42 gigs. It's going to say you have 0 left of 50 gigs. But you hit next, it would go through just fine. But your inventory then would be 0 gigs left. So assuming that's not the case, let's say you sold them 4 gigs, right? You see you have an inventory or storage of 48 gigs. Really, that should say 42 because that's what you have left. But these are just hard-coded examples, so don't take the numbers literal. So let's say you had 42 gigs left, and this is 4 gigs. And I hit assign. This is going to go down and say you have 38 gigs left. So you'd really have 38 gigs in storage after I completed this. So let's say your agent logs in and they're starting to put videos on their church channel. And they've put so many videos on there, it's gotten to 3.8 gigs. They got 0.2 of a gig left. But now they've got 10 more videos they want to put in. So they grab all 10, drag them and drop them. There'll just be a window they can drag and drop, and they'll start doing all the work on all the videos. The thing is, it exceeded their limit. They only had, 0.2 of a gig left. And this thing, let's say these 20 videos, we're going to take a gig. I'm just throwing out numbers. There's a lot to the size of videos, but let's say it's a gig. So it's going to say, sorry, you don't have enough space. Would you like to purchase more space? If they say yes, what they're doing is they're purchasing it from you, from the inventory you have. So if they say yes, I want to buy 10 gigs, and your pricing under your global admin, you're going to determine how much you're selling this for. So you sell 10 gigs for X amount of dollars. They say, yes, I want it. They purchase it. They pay with their card. They're paying you because you're selling your inventory, right? So then you would have 38 gigs left in this example, right? Using the 42, marking down for you at 38 gigs. They would buy 10 gigs off you. So when you'd get an email, but when you logged in the next day, instead of saying you have 42 gigs of 50 left, now you're down to 28 gigs of 50 left. So you've got to keep an inventory of things you want to sell. If you don't want to sell them, they'll just be blanked out. So people can automatically upgrade the storage that they need without stopping their video upload, without contacting you, and without having to say, I got half this stuff uploaded and there was an error or it caused a thing, because it'll stop it, because it'll compare before the upload begins what they're trying to upload and how much space they have. And so then it'll stop them and let you sell them more space automatically in the back of your SaaS. So that's very controlled. It's very limited. That's what the user agent does. They can only control what you assign them. But you guys, like I said, you're going to have a white labeled SaaS if you want it, if you launch it, and you're going to put your own stuff on it. So when people come here and register, which of course ours is disabled, they're actually registering with you as a standard client. Okay, so your standard client would actually fall into the pricing that you created. So let's say you decide on your pricing screen, and this is just a general pricing screen. You don't really have to pay much attention. This is where you set all your prices. But let's say you set your monthly fee, let's say at 80 bucks. And so for 80 bucks a month or $100 a month, what they get is access to their back end, and they get 50 gigs of storage. That's it. So the thing is, now back here, if I'm that type of member, I can create as many channels as I want as long as I do not exceed my 50 gigs. So they're out actually reselling for you, right? So like I can create my own channel, like I can call it fun, whatever I want to call it, and I can say 50 gigs. If I do that and hit next, you then, if they want to upgrade, like let's say they want to upgrade to SDK or Builder or Apple TV, in your pricing page, you're actually, back in your pricing page, you're actually going to set prices for those things. So again, these are just examples, but you can look at them and say, okay, well, I want to set up Apple TV, set up fee and monthly fee. I want them to launch creator pages for free and direct publisher for free, but they're not for free because they have to eat out of your storage, which of course you sell them storage. I just made up numbers for you guys here, so don't pay attention to the numbers. It's kind of just for an example's sake. But if you go down here and say, listen, for SDK, and we'll go through this as we get closer to what everything means, you know. But if you go up here to membership Roku monthly, and you say that's included, hit SDK and call this $25. When the people get to build their channel and they get to this SDK, it should say $25, whatever. At the end of it, they keep going through next, they select it, whatever their total is, you'd hit finish. They would check out with you. You would get paid for those. So again, if they're back at the first page and they say, you know, they add another client. Let's say this thing's down to 1 gig of 50 left. They want to add a client for 25 gigs. Well, it's going to stop them right here and say you don't have enough space, and they would have to buy the storage off of you for whatever price you have. So you have a fully functional reselling portal where you can get people to go out and sell channels because they can mark it up, sell it for whatever they want to sell, but they're really buying it from you. But you also have the ability to just sell a channel and create an agent and assign an agent to the channel. We did this for maximum flexibility because we have a lot of users doing a lot of different things, and I think you're to find as your business grows, you're going to want, you know, you're going to have a customer that says, man, I love this system. I'd really like to be able to go sell to somebody. You can say, listen, you can. And then you can set them up as a standard user as well, and they can start selling it out, because the more storage you sell, the more sub-services like these and websites and mobile apps and all these things that you sell, if you had somebody else out selling it as well as you selling it, I mean, obviously your business grows. So the key here is, let's say you want to sell podcasting. You always need to have a podcasting in your inventory. So you'll see there's a reload button. So you can reload and just buy one of each of these, or you can buy a package which fills all these up, and then you have them to sell, because you have to have them in your inventory to sell them. But if you're a founder, you get a baseline inventory based on the level of your founder membership, if you're yearly or if you're lifetime. And that's why we did that last push, to just get everybody squared up so everybody knows exactly where everything stands. So I hope this was helpful answering those questions, and we will make more videos. And I know every video we make, there'll be more questions than answers. But just be patient with us as it grows and we go to it. It'll start to become clearer. And at the end, you'll see with our founders, we're going to do a real onboarding, walk you through, hand-holding sort of session so that everybody knows how to deal with all the features. So everybody will be good. I hope this is helpful. I hope it answered your questions, and there'll be more coming. See you guys.